All right, I'm back. You see the indentation of the case on these rags. That's fine because it's still got full color throughout. Got a flat topper. Let's go ahead and take the card out. Should be plenty of space for a belt through there. Nice and flat. This lines up nice and good. I've already poked a hole there. Honestly, it looks like it may end up in a good spot. I may poke a different hole just because I can. I kind of want that hole to be... Where are my buttons at? I want it to be like right there. Do this one here. I'm going to use this. Oh, here, let me go ahead and pull that sucker out. Pretty solid. I'm going to pre-lean the tip just a little bit. Such a pain in the butt. This may be a surprise, but it is chilly in here again. Yeah, I'll put this button on the outside. Now we'll stuff this right back in there. Get it tight against the frame. Yeah, dude. Look at that. It's gonna be real hard to get that grommet in there though. I just like to get the beveled end of these punches in there. Alright, well, I guess I'm off to the bench vise again. I could probably, I say this every time, I could probably try it here, but I imagine it's only going to go so well. Yeah, I'm gonna go to the bench vise because this is a very small piece here, and I'm gonna clamp this in and beat against it. That almost caught me making a mistake. I need that. this dude. And got this one. Put that one in. Give it a few more taps. Neighbors probably hate me. They'll be all right. Okay, here's the first test. Looks like it's pretty good. Good to go. Cool. So now that all this is done, I can figure out what I'm doing with the straps. This is a totally functional holster now, though. Everything else is going to be just edge work and beautification from here on out. So again, I'll figure out what I'm doing with the straps. I'm going to wax this thing, make it nice and pretty. But yeah, dude. I mean, pretty much from start to finish, you've seen the whole thing. I still have to stiffen this as well, but pretty much from start to finish, you've seen the whole thing. I'll get some more of this other stuff on video, and then I won't unwrap the pistol yet because I still have to stiffen this, firm it, whatever. So I'll be back with another video, and I will probably cut the remainder of the process in, including this video you just got. So this will be the beginning of my last video on this holster, probably. Thanks for being here. I look forward to dropping more content and showing you what I'm doing. Have a good one. All right. Good morning, YouTube. Sorry, I have been actually gone for a couple of days this time. Again, please don't hold me to an upload schedule. I haven't made one. I do apologize. It's been a couple of days without an update, though. Last we talked, I was working out the design of the big clunky strap. You'll notice you got some fresh edges there. I've caught all of my edges up to each other here as well. Most of that was done using a razor blade, and I didn't want to do it on camera because realistically, I press the holster against my chest while I'm working on it, and then I get in real close and I do tiny little drags with the razor blade to make sure it's nice and smooth. I cut that with the scissors. I thought I had that pretty close, but I think I cut at an angle when I was cutting this piece, so it's backed off a little bit. I can go ahead and show you how it grabs. You'll notice it grabs, there's like a lump in the frame right here, like a little U-shaped lump. And that strap actually grabs right into it real nicely. My only concern at this point is that there's no real meat or material here, and that leaves the back side of the trigger guard open. But I mean, it's still a full containment holster. It's not, that's not coming out. I guess what I'm gonna do now, these are all the nice pretty pieces I cut off. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to finish these edges up. Finish them up, I mean clean them up just a little bit. And again, I am sorry that I've got the sniffles for a second time, but we still have that cold that came through the other day. You see that lump there? I might have to cut that with a razor blade. Realistically, I don't want to cut anything with a razor blade if I don't have to, because it's not going to be the same as my edger. But at this point, edging around like a button that's already in place, the leather doesn't lay flat to my cut surface here, so it's kind of tough to get that looking the way it needs to look. There we go. That was a good cut. Yeah, we'll do it like that. I think that's all fine. Yeah, I'll cut the back side too, just so it's not unmatched. All right, now I got to color all my edges with Sharpie again. Where's my big one? This big Sharpie made it way too easy to color these edges. Now I don't even like using my small Sharpies. And if you're curious, yes, coloring on this mostly done holster with a huge Sharpie is nerve-wracking. It's nerve-wracking every time, honestly. It's even before you've done any work to it, coloring on leather with a Sharpie is, I'll tell you what, it's a surefire way to stain that leather. So if you if you take it too relaxed and you color on the leather, then that is something you can't undo, right? You can always do a pretty decent job washing pen markings out, but this Sharpie is a little bit different. So is leather dye though, so if you're gonna dye it, you might as well try to use Sharpie too. Unless you're against a Sharpie, you can choose to never use a Sharpie on any of your projects if you so choose. None of my business. I don't care what you do. Just have fun doing it. Now what's really going to be hard is finishing this edge here. but I'm just going to use my hand tool for it. Talking about like the burnishing. Sorry, I know that I'm still working with a Sharpie. I wonder if I brought I did not bring my monster out here. It's okay, because before I can dunk this, I have to pause or cut the video at least for a few minutes anyway, because I don't have my dunk tank prepared. And I think honestly I'll probably use the bag again for the leather firmer, because it just worked out really good. What am I looking at now? Do it from the inside so I don't make a huge mess. And this little hole here again is for function of the flap without causing a crease or a fold in that leather. I'll put these away. And break this sucker out. Where is my burnishing tool? Here's my hand burnishing tool, which I will be using. I'll use the little one as well, and then I'm going to grab the drill real quick just to do this strap. Man, I am so sorry that I've got what I would call the sniffles. Not gonna lie, it is kind of obnoxious. And also, unfortunately, I will have to delay this video coming out as well, because I gotta let this whole thing dry after I dye these spots again, so that I can stiffen it. So, sorry, I wasn't thinking about it. This won't be the last video though. Or, well, this won't be the last video I take of this project. It may be the last video I'm making on this project, and if it turns out to all go into one video, I'll just let you know in that video, obviously, that it's the last one. All right, noise in 3, 2, 1. Ooh, she's kind of lumpy. Why are you moving like that? It's wiggling funky. It'll be all right. Whatever. Not doing so hot. I'm gonna get a little more wet. Yeah, it's just a little gumpy. Like, you can tell the difference, but on this section, it's not really making a huge difference. And I think that might just be because all the angles and the pressure that I may not actually be able to get put down on this segment. I mean, it's not terrible. That'll be fine. I'm going to try and get this little bit real quick. I said that and you couldn't see what I was saying or working on. Yeah, I'm not even going to be able to do anything about that. Front side will be okay. Let's see if I can get this. Probably not. That's a tight spot. Ow. Got the wire hanging from the top of my workbench and it just pulled my hair. It'll be okay for now. And then this whole outside section is going to be done with the hand tool. I just had to make sure all my other stuff was pretty decent looking before I jumped in. And again, if I had a bench vise over here, I would tie this up and I would run it the opposite method that I've been using to show you how I like to work on a more rigid piece, because you can put pressure on it. But oh no, I was supposed to color this with a Sharpie. Good thing I got this big one. And my dog just barked to come inside, so I will go let her in as well real quick. All right, I'm back. Millie needed to come in. Make sure that's fully colored. I'm gonna wet it down again. I want this to stay kind of wet. I'll start with the big one here. Try and get these edges rolled inward. At least get them started going this way and then this way. See if I can show you this in real time. See how shiny that got? I hope you can see how shiny that got. Again, I'm just trying to work these edges as they flatten out. They want to roll outward, but I don't want them to roll outward. I actually think I should maybe be using the hard shape of this gun to my advantage. Alright, now I'm on the smaller size, right in the middle. Let me get that wet again. Yeah, that segment right in the middle, you almost can't even see the seam anymore. The method I like to use is both spin and smooth. Just depends on what's working better for you at the moment. I think that this segment here is going to fail to close up super well. By fail to close up, I mean these fuzzy ends here will still be kind of fuzzy. And I'll be honest, I think part of that is because it needs a little shave. This is one of the problems with freehanding a razor blade, is if you don't have a properly solid backstop, sometimes that blade will eat a little more than it's supposed to. Let's see. Through, and we'll color all those potential spots again. And I'm going to get it wet one more time. I say one more time like I'm not about to maybe do this again. I'll try not to do it again. I may not be able to get all of these to close up perfectly either. Remember, it is 2 separate pieces of the leather. Not technically 2 separate. It all comes from the same piece, but they can't heal back together, so any closing that happens has to be done by hand, and, well, as you can see, it's not exactly the easiest thing in the whole wide world to do. Again, you can keep shaving these little hairs off, and you can make it absolutely perfect and cohesive. I don't know how other people do this, because I don't watch other people make things. Not out of leather, anyhow. So, I am sorry that I don't have an immediate off-the-top solution for you. But, you know, as long as you let it dry like that, again, I'm going to let this dry all the way, and then I'm going to dunk it on my stiffener, so that edge should stay closed pretty well for the life of the holster. And if it doesn't, at some point in the future, I'll get some super glue or something. I can fill seams with super glue, and then it'll be okay. I may actually do just this front seam with a little bit of glue real quick, and then I'll do that off camera. Yeah, you don't need to watch me do super glue, but that's how you do that. My next process will be dunking this in leather firmer, but I can't do that until this is dry, so I will see you later. Thanks. Alright guys, I am back. I let it dry for a little while and then kept using my slicker tool, whatever. I've gotten a very magnificent overall shine. Done a pretty decent job of laying those, you know, over and working. You know, it kind of actually some of it's worked into the edges a little bit, so I stopped in some spots, but I was able to get it to look pretty good all the way across. Obviously, my button tab and the latch strap and a nice chocolate interior. And yes, of course, the rainbow thread. I guess really the next step here is to give it its final, yeah, I'm going to say its final forming, which will be the leather firmer. I actually just got a new bag because I'm going to bag dunk it again. It's a little more conservative on my material. I can get a little bit more for what I actually spent on it. I can't remember how much it costs, but I did spend money on it, and I don't want to waste it, so I'm not going to just, you know, fill it all with mahogany dye. So the bag works pretty good. I don't know. Find a not used glove, or I won't. That's the fun part. Yeah, if I have an unused glove someplace, I might use it. Otherwise, I'm just gonna hold it by the strap and try not to get anything past this corner wet. I have magnificently wrapped, don't even ask about it, I have magnificently wrapped this object with both plastic and tape. It'll be okay, probably. Usually is. It has been every other time. So it's wrapped, it's ready to roll. I gotta fill this bag up with a little bit of this stuff. I have to be ready to form that. So let me go ahead and get out my handy dandy card. And this time I might wrap it with plastic just because I really want it to not stick to its, I don't want it to remove color. Last time a little bit of color was removed. And I will say, I didn't like it at first, and now I'm kind of okay with it. The texture of the plastic left actually was kind of like spotty, shiny. Some of it was very shiny, some of it was not very shiny at all. And I thought that was real neat. It was like a dimpled gloss effect. That should keep it from sticking, and I can clamp those on. Yeah, I'm not gonna wear gloves. I'm gonna just make a mess. I'll take these off so they don't get horribly, it's not even sticky. I swear, it's like a soap or something. It really didn't give off a whole lot of smell. Maybe it has like acetone, like a tiny bit of acetone in it, but it feels like I think it's a mild detergent, and when it dries, it just really stiffens. Probably starch, honestly. Yeah. Go ahead and set up like it's a normal prep, because I'll move this stuff anyway. And I want, which side do I want down? I'll stick to this side down, so I need something to support here again. Looks like most of my air quotes blocking is left over from last time I was doing this. So maybe I can get it to work again. Let's go, you know what I'm saying? Just kidding, sorry. I think that'll be okay. That'll be fine. And then I probably ought to protect the underside of it. No, that'll be fine as well. Who cares? Move this down just a little bit so the back end of the firearm isn't holding off the display. I think we're good here. Now, what I didn't do on my tool holsters is let them dry completely before I used my leather firmer last time. So this is totally dry now, and I'm gonna use the leather firmer now, and I think what's gonna happen is I'm gonna have a better result than I did, because it just seemed to work a little bit better. We'll do that much, and then I have, honestly, quite a bit left. And I'm just gonna, hopefully you can see this, I'm just gonna fill the inside of the holster up with a little bit of it and shake it around and stir it up. I'm gonna flip this over, and I'm gonna keep doing that. It's just, again, I'm gonna try not to dunk the whole strap. Pulling some of it up so it's inside of the holster, and now I'm just going to drain some of that excess off. Honestly, I could probably dab some of it off. I don't think that I want to do that, though. I do need, yeah, here we go. I do need a bit of this saran wrap, because remember, I do like the way that ended up looking. So we're going to go ahead and try and do that again. Okay, I'm going to get that stuck nice inside of there. Ugh. So me fingers. Sorry if that was offensive to anybody that is watching or listening. Yuck. Okay, and then we'll get that there. Probably should have thought that out a little better. Always lay your rags in a nice, safe place. Yuck. Yikes, that did not tear very well. Let's see if I can. I'm not going to be able to float those wrinkles out. I don't care. I ripped it at a really bad angle. Let's see if I can get this one better. Top of my box lid is just freaking falling apart. There we go. Try and really distribute that plastic decently. And you know what time it is. Time for the pillow. Big pillow. Here we go. Put the book back on it. Start with this 45 because it actually likes to slide a little bit more than the 25 does. So we'll put that there. We'll put that there. I'm going to let this sit for probably 20-40 minutes, I don't know, and then I'll come back out. I'll take the plastic off. I'll let it kind of air dry on the outside a little bit, then I'll take the gun out and then let the inside dry, and then you'll see it maybe in about 24 hours from here. Cool, thanks.